but from now on Thursday nights, unless I have a guest, I will be going live at 8:30 for a half an hour just before Ike's Tech Talk. Tonight, I would like to talk to you guys about a couple things this week. One thing is T-Mobile's customer service sucked, and the reason for that is basically I went to cancel 4 lines, and they took like an hour and a half to cancel my lines. They took so much time to hop in to things to get things going, and I just wanted to cancel the lines, and they decided that they weren't going to easily just let me do it. So that was kind of an issue for me. They wanted to just take their time and not do what I wanted them to do right away. So customer service people, if somebody comes in and says, cancel my lines, and you say, but do this, and they say, cancel my lines, and they're adamant about it, and they understand what's going to happen if they cancel lines, just do it. So that's kind of my discussion with that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is there's been this discussion about Google and Apple and ecosystem and walled garden. And one of the things that came to mind was some of the changes that I've noticed on the Apple side. They're becoming more and more open as far as allowing the APIs open and things of that nature. On the Google side, what kind of bothers me is that they don't tend to really they're closing things down more and more, and I've noticed that. I've noticed that they don't aren't as open with things anymore. Their Nest Hub stuff, you have to use their app. There's some issues as far as I don't like that I have to go into the third-party apps to get access to video feed. I wish that I could just open my Google Home app and see the video feed from my cameras, whether they're Nest supported, whether they are third party, like I have some Eufy cameras. And on the Apple side of things, they were so easy to set up with HomeKit, and I can just view them. I can ask Siri to show me my living room camera or my son's room, and it just pops up and it shows me. On the other hand, if I ask Google to do it, I have to have a hub, a video hub, or go to a specific Chromecast and have it work. And so those things are confusing. Those things are a bit of an issue. Also, not able to use multiple generations of Nest Wi-Fi, which I sort of understand. But in reality, you should be able to use them and understand that, like, oh, if it's a Wi-Fi 6E compatible, it should work with a Wi-Fi 6 or a Wi-Fi 5 as far as an extension for it. Obviously, you're not going to get the same speed because it's going to be limited based off from the main hub. But that's a little bit conflicting, and it's a little bit concerning because maybe you don't want to have to buy 3 new ones all the time. Maybe you just wanna buy 1 because you need a little bit stronger signal in a particular part of your house or a particular room. The other thing that's kind of come to mind is discussing people, getting access and doing reviews on products when they first get it. And there's been this discussion of people got their Samsung devices and people are getting the OnePlus devices and they're doing reviews after a day or so and, oh, they should have these devices for days or weeks. But at the same time, do we see people doing that with cases? Do we see people doing that with accessories like watch bands and cases for their watch or cases for their phones? Or do they take them out of the box, they put them on, they go, oh, this feels nice? I don't really see people talking about long term. I don't see people talking about the yellowing of clear cases or how durable they are or if buttons break. We don't see those follow-ups. We don't see the long-term reviews. We see somebody just taking it, like I said, just taking it out of the box, snapping on the phone and go, oh, the buttons feel nice. Oh, this feels good. Oh, this doesn't get fingerprints but we don't know about, do they scratch easily? Do fingerprints eventually show up really easily? Do the buttons hold up over time? Are the edges on a thinner case gonna snap eventually? Will the gaps between the holes sustain in the material? And so these are things that it seems a little bit of almost like a hypocrisy in the tech community as far as reviews, and are we consistent with how we treat reviewers? But then that comes into real life with tech as far as like we tend to see that it's almost like the one and done. And I don't get why people are just so like this person's point of view is 100%. I get those comments all the time, and it's interesting to me. It's like, why are you watching somebody if you're going to comment in their channel that such and such something else? So you're taking their word over the word of another, like, balance it out. Are a bunch of people complaining? Is it kind of a 50-50 with complaints? And that's where I see our criticism of tech. And realistically, if you want to know if a product is good, if you're contemplating buying it, get your hands on it. Look at your carrier's return policy or the manufacturer's return policy. Consider that. Consider if you know somebody that's getting one, consider going into the store and doing hands-on with the product. You know, they'll let you test products. A lot of times they're right there. You can take photos. Obviously, you're not going to be able to take it outside. You're not going to be able to experience the dark, but you'll be able to take it in their kind of lighting, which isn't always the best either. And so that's kind of the thing. You don't get the experience. You get the, oh, I've had this product for 2 weeks. Oh, cool. But 2 weeks, is that what, like, were you using that 100% for 2 weeks? Were you using other devices in there? Did you use it actually for like a few hours or like one day? Did you check it for software? Is it using official software? Are you going to come back to it later? And I understand that these people have a bunch of products they're getting and they can't necessarily do that. But that's something I want to do as well. And so, you know, I've had this for a while. I need to do a follow-up video on the Fold 4. My iPhone that I'm using is the camera. I need to do a follow-up. My Vivo X Fold I need to do a video on. And these are things that, I put out there for what I want from other people, but also to make myself accountable. So, ask the questions. If I don't have the product anymore, if it's an older video, I'll let you know. If you're seeing this now and you're seeing newer content that I'm doing and you want to know, oh, how's it holding up? You want to know, how's your experience with iOS? How's your experience with Samsung One UI? How's your experience with Origin OS? Feel free to, ask that in the comments, interact. I'm not one of those people that doesn't reply to comments. If there's a question, even if you comment something on the video and there isn't a question, I always reply. And I think that's something that is beneficial with, watching my content over some of the larger channels. And so that's what's going on with me. That's what's going on. I'm using Opus. It's a news streaming service. If you are somebody who likes to stream and you're curious and you want to test something out, they do 1080p. They're in beta right now, but let me know. I can get you a link. Check it out. They've got tons of features as far as like background layouts, emoji, rain, spotlight feature. Um, memes, you can do polls, you can share, all the typical stuff, changing the orientation, and it's really fun. If you're somebody who wants to get into streaming and you have questions, of course, always ask about that. If you're wanting to get into content, ask about that. Let's just continue the conversation. Come back each and every week. I will be back next week at 8 o'clock, and I will see you all next Thursday at 8 o'clock. Check out my Twitter to know if I'm going to go live on other days. I may be going live on Mondays as well, Monday nights. And of course, go check out Ike Talks Tech. He will be going live in about 5 minutes here. I will, of course, share the link right down below and in the chat. Thanks for all for joining me for the last about 10 minutes. I know this was a short one. Peace out. See y'all next week at the normal time at 8 o'clock. I have this figured out now, and I'm good to go. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Peace out.